Hi friends, welcome back to the continuation of the North America. What we studied in the previous lecture is the western part of North America and the central part of the North America. I stopped here in the Great Lakes region. What I asked you to remember in the Great Lakes region, I asked you to remember the lakes from north to south and some of the important cities which are located on the lake. For example, where is Detroit located? Detroit is located on the Lake Erie. Which lake totally lies in India, in the USA? Lake Michigan lies totally in USA. Now let us look at the other part of the Great Plains, that of the central part or the central lowland, that is this part of North America. This part of North America is known as the Great Plains region. Is the Great Plains. What are these Great Plains? These Great Plains are an example of a temperate or the tropical grasslands. That is, whether they are the grasslands in the tropical region or whether they are the grasslands in the temperate region. So these are the examples of a temperate grasslands. These are the examples of temperate grasslands. And like any temperate grassland, so the prairie, they are known by different names. And they are, the Great Plains are temperate grasslands made up of temperate grasslands, and these are known as prairies of North America. These are known as the prairie grasslands of North America. Now, what is the difference between the savanna grassland, which is a tropical grassland, and the temperate grassland? In the savanna grassland, the grasses are tall because there is more of a evaporation and less of a precipitation. That means there is total evapotranspiration, or the loss of water through evaporation and transpiration is high. The tropical grasslands are coarse grasses. क्या है उसमें? They have thorns, they have कांटे on it, and because they are the coarse grasses, the यहाँ पे animal rearing in the tropical grasslands is not an important occupation. This is what we see in the savanna regions. This is what we see in the Campos region of Brazil. These are two examples of the tropical grassland. But come to the temperate grasslands, because these temperate grasslands lie in the upper latitudes or in the higher latitudes above the Tropic of Cancer or above the Tropic of Capricorn, that is in the south towards the polar regions in both the hemispheres. There is less evapotranspiration, that is, the loss of heat is not there because there is no that much of heat in this region, and because there is less loss of heat in this region, you remember the temperate grassland are known for the soft grasses or for nutritious grasses, small grasses. In fact, this region is a region which is an impactly, there is a soft grasses, the land is made up of soft grasses, and there are no trees in this region. Because the soft grasses, animals can easily eat here, animals can easily graze in this region, and therefore these are the famous regions for animal grazing. These are the famous regions for agriculture in this region, agriculture. And you see, these are the developed parts of the world. So यहाँ पे the agriculture is in the time is a kind of commercial agriculture. There are two kinds of agriculture. One is subsistence agriculture, and the other is commercial agriculture. Or it is also known as an extensive agriculture. It is also known as an extensive farming. Now, this part of the world, that is the subsistence agriculture, dominates in which countries? Countries like India, where most of the agriculture is for our own use and not for the market. सबसे पहले what we have to do? We have to make the use of that food for our own sustenance, and then it is used for market product. But the commercial grain cultivation is more for the market region. Subsistence agriculture, if you have studied economics, the problem of a subsistence agriculture is what kind of a employment? It consists of disguised unemployment. But यहाँ पे in the commercial grain farming, it is an extensive farming, vast and extremely large farms. What 600, 700 hectare can be an average size of the farm if we go to the Russia, if we go to the prairies, and because these are large size farms, therefore farm mechanization is huge. And because the input cost in the terms of farm mechanization, in the terms of fertilizers, in the terms of insecticide, pesticide is huge, the product also has to be huge so that the cost can give a better returns. That's so that the you can make profit out of it. So as a result, remember, commercial grain agriculture is a kind of an agriculture which is practiced in the developed countries, and in subsistence agriculture is practiced in the developing countries such as India. Now because we are not doing the Indian part, we will rub this. Remember that the commercial grain farming is the most important farming in the prairie region, and in the prairie region, in any kind of a commercial grain farming, wheat is the most important crop in this region. Wheat is a crop where you will have harvesters, where you will have tractors, where you will have big machines to, or the flights. If you have seen many movies, they show that flights are used for spraying the insecticide, pesticide, or spraying the inputs of the farms. So in the commercial grain or extensive farming, we use more and more mechanization and less manpower is there, because there is not that much population also that they can use the manpower. So the commercial grain farming, the most important crop here is wheat, and the prairies are one of the largest wheat producing regions of the world. I am saying largest because in now, which region is maximum wheat producing? It is China is the largest producer of wheat. But commercial grain farming, you remember, this is a part where commercial grain farming is done, where the most important crop is wheat. Wheat is the most important food crop. Most important food crop. But at the same time, when the wheat is the most important food crop, these are the countries which won't stop at only producing wheat and eating wheat. The focus is commercial agriculture. What kind of an agriculture? Commercial. The farm is a business, and any business should give you profit. And therefore, animal rearing means having animals on the farm for beef, for meat product is also an important business. And for animal, when you will eat meat or beef, if the animal has fat in it, then only it will be more productive. And to make the animals fat, what is used? Maize cultivation is another important crop here. Maize is the another important crop. It is chiefly used for fodder and not for food. It is chiefly used for fodder and not for food. So maize is the most important fodder crop in this region, while wheat is the most important food crop in this region. But if we come to the southern part, where the winters are cold, where the winters are not that severe, that means you have in the southern part here, in this southern part after this boundary, the winters are not that severe because this is more or less a tropical region. And because the winters are not severe, what we have in this region, we have 210 frost-free days. And for cotton, we should have minimum 210 frost-free days. So the other important crop here is cotton. Cotton is grown in this region. Why cotton? And which part of the prairies? Northern or southern, if they ask you in the examination? The southern part of the prairies. Why the southern part of the prairies? Because in the southern part, cotton requires minimum 210 frost-free days. It requires minimum 210 frost-free days. And this is available only in the southern part of the prairies, and therefore the cotton is the most important crop in this region, where you get 210 frost-free days. The next important crop here is tobacco. The next important crop here is the tobacco region. Tobacco. And what? One of the best quality of tobaccos, that is the Virginia tobacco, is grown in this region. So remember, if the question comes, which state of USA is famous for tobacco, you remember it is the Virginia itself. Virginia tobacco is the best, it's considered to be the best quality of tobacco, and it generally goes in making cigars and whatever it will be, but you remember that it is the best quality of tobacco. Now, if this is there, what is the other important thing about the prairies? In the prairies, you have the biggest river of North America, and that river of North America is known as Mississippi River. It is known as Missouri and Mississippi River. It is one of the largest rivers of North America. So, which river flows through the prairie region? The river which flows through the prairie region is the Mississippi Missouri River. It is the Mississippi Missouri River which flows through the prairie region of North America. It is the largest, flows through the prairies. It is the largest river of the North America. And where does it drain? It drains into, the question is, where does the Mississippi Missouri River drain into? The Mississippi Missouri River will drain into, what is this region? It drains into the Gulf of Mexico. It drains into the Gulf of Mexico. And what is more important regarding the Mississippi and Missouri River is take your atlas and see what kind of a delta the Mississippi Missouri River forms. Compare this delta with the delta of river Nile. Compare this delta with the delta of river Ganga, Brahmaputra. We have already studied in the geomorphology that the Mississippi Missouri River is famous for, drains into the Gulf of Mexico and forms a bird foot delta. So remember, the Mississippi Missouri River is famous for which delta? It is famous for the bird foot delta. Mississippi Missouri River is famous for bird foot delta. Now look into the political map of USA. And tell me whether you can find a city known as St. Louis. Even if you don't find the city known as St. Louis, it's fine. What you remember is, you will find here a city known as St. Louis. What you remember, even if you don't find, it is not that important. The Mississippi and Missouri River meet at a city known as St. Louis. So what is the area, what is the confluence of Mississippi, Missouri known as? It is known as St. Louis. St. Louis is the confluence or meeting point of Mississippi and Missouri River. So repeat with me, St. Louis is the confluence or meeting point of the Mississippi Missouri River region. St. Louis is the confluence or the meeting point of Mississippi and Missouri River region. So, and in that, even in the St. Louis, even in this map of North America, you will find that major city. I am using this map now, not the Oxford wala map, because I find world geographically this map as better. You will find a city which is known as Tennessee. There is a river which is known as a Tennessee here, and you can find below the St. Louis, you will find a city known as Tennessee. How to locate St. Louis? Look at Michigan. Michigan ke niche there is Chicago. Go to the south of Chicago, you will find St. Louis, a meeting point of the Mississippi River. After that, you will find a river, Tennessee River, which is an important tributary of which river? Tennessee River, which is an important tributary of Missouri, Mississippi. Now, though there are numerous tributaries of Missouri, Mississippi, why Tennessee becomes important? Because there is on the Tennessee River is located a big multi-purpose project known as Tennessee Valley Authority, and on that model of the Tennessee Valley Authority in India, we have Damodar Valley Corporation. We have Damodar Valley Corporation, DVC, that is the Damodar Valley Authority, or DVC, Damodar Valley Corporation, is based on the Damodar Valley Corporation is based on the Tennessee Valley Authority. So it is based on which valley authority? Tennessee Valley Authority. Tennessee is a river on North America, and DVC, our project, multi-purpose project, which is based on river Damodar. Damodar river is a tributary of river Ganga. River Damodar, DVC, is based on the TVC. You remember TVA, that is the Tennessee Valley Authority. So these are the important, this entire region is important for wheat, maize, cotton and tobacco, not rice, not rice in this region. Now tell me, what is the name of this small peninsula which is located here? Now the peninsula which I am shading here red in color, what is the name of this peninsula which I am shading red in color? The name of this peninsula is Florida Peninsula. What is the name? You can find in the atlas. It is the Florida Peninsula. It is Florida Peninsula. Remember, the Florida Peninsula is important for what? The Florida Peninsula is important for fruits or horticulture. Florida is famous for fruits or horticulture in this region. It is famous for fruits or horticulture in this region. So the Florida Peninsula is famous for fruits or horticulture. So this is the major part you should remember regarding the Great Plains. Upper lakes, glaciated lakes, then the Great Lakes of North America, these are also glaciated lakes. Then after that we have the Great Plains through which Missouri, Mississippi, the largest river of North America, drains. We have done the Columbia Snake Plateau. Columbia Snake Plateau drains through what kind of a territory? It drains through an basalt lava plateau region. We have done Colorado River. Grand Canyon is located on the Colorado River, and then we are doing the Great Plains region. Great Plains are agriculturally important, especially for wheat, which is the major food crop, which maize, major fodder crop, cotton and tobacco. And the largest city in this region is the Chicago region, which is famous for meat packaging industry, meat processing industry. Yahan pe it is one of the largest producer of meat, beef. It is important for meat products or for milk. How animals are artificially fattened in this region? They are given maize to eat. They are given maize to eat, and after giving maize to eat, when they become fat, they are sent to slaughterhouses, which obviously are mechanized, not like Indian slaughterhouses. These are mechanized, and then beef industry dominates in this region. Jiska the biggest center in this region is Chicago. So remember, Chicago is famous for food processing industry. Famous for food processing industry. We already done earlier that Chicago is also famous for the railway terminals. It is also important for the food processing industry in this region. Now the next point is, we will come to the next part of the North America, that is the eastern part or the eastern highlands. Now why are they known as eastern highlands? I'll rub this part. These are known as the Eastern Highlands because from the atlas you will see that it consists of the Appalachian Mountains. So यहाँ पे the mountains which are present here are the Appalachian Mountains. They are known as the Appalachian, Allegheny and the Blue Ridge Mountains. So what are these mountains? These are Appalachian Mountains. This part of the Appalachian Mountains is known as an Allegheny Mountains. And this part is known as an Blue Ridge Mountains. Then, if you go up, you will find a plateau which is known as an Laurentia Plateau. You will find this region which is known as an Canadian Shield region. And you will find this region as a Labrador Peninsula region or the Labrador Plateau region. So you see this entire region consists of an highlands, नीचे Appalachian Mountains, ऊपर Laurentia Plateau, Canadian Shield and the Labrador Plateau region. Now first let us look at the highlands or the Appalachian mountain system. Appalachian are old fold mountains or they are ancient fold mountains. These are ancient fold mountains. These are the ancient fold mountains. And how ancient? These are the ancient fold mountains of an orogeny which is known as Caledonian orogeny. Of Caledonian orogeny. Of Caledonian orogeny. These are ancient fold mountains of Caledonian orogeny. Now this ancient fold mountains of Caledonian orogeny, that means they are old mountains. On the other hand, what we said, Himalayas, Rockies, etc. are young fold mountains of tertiary period or tertiary orogeny. Now I want to ask you, you don't have to go too much into detail for general studies. I want to ask you, our ancient fold mountains in India are Aravallis. Now ancient fold mountains in India are Aravallis. Aravallis belong to which period? It belongs to Precambrian period. It belongs to Precambrian era. It belongs to an era which is known as a Precambrian era. And no doubt, the Precambrian era preceded or was much earlier than the Caledonian era, and therefore Aravallis old hai ya Appalachians are old. Remember, Aravallis are the oldest fold mountains in the world. Even that if the question comes in a way that Aravallis, Dharwar, Kadapa and Vindhya sediments. So Aravallis are older, then comes the Dharwar rock system, then the Kadapa rock system and then the Vindhyas. And before the Dharwar system will come Archean gneiss and schist. So the Aravallis are the oldest fold mountains in the world, belonging to an era जिसके बारे में we do not know much of this, and therefore we say Precambrian era. But Appalachian mountains are ancient fold mountains, so of Caledonian origin or Caledonian period. Now, for the general studies point of view, you do not have to remember Allegheny and Blue Ridge. I guess that you, in fact, do not have to remember the highest point here, but you can see here the highest point is Mount Mitchell. You can see here Mount Mitchell is the highest point. Remember Michelle Obama, US President ki wife, and remember the Mount Mitchell in this region. So Appalachian Mountains. Now, what is the importance of this Appalachian Mountains? Why are they important for the general studies point of view? Because what you find here is coal. You find coal, majorly coal in this region. We also get some kind of an iron ore in this region. We also get some kind of an iron ore in this region, but we get coal in this region. We get coal in this region. Coal is a source of energy. Then if we go to the north, Laurentia Plateau, Canadian Shield and Labrador Plateau. This Canadian Shield, Laurentia Plateau are one of the oldest plateaus. Now, no doubt this is a plateau, so this plateau is known as a shield, and therefore it is one of the oldest regions of the earth. Similar like Deccan Lava Plateau, sorry, not like Deccan Lava Plateau, similar to a peninsular plateau, this is also the oldest region. Now, our peninsular plateau is rich in iron ore deposit because it consists of the old rocks which was made in Archean period, that is archaic rock. Very old rock, Archean, gneiss and schist. Even the Canadian Plateau region or the Canadian Shield region dominates in the Archean rock or very old rock, and therefore this region of Canada, that is the Canadian Shield or this region of the Canada also has very old, this similar to our peninsular plateau, this region of Canada, Canadian Shield and the Laurentia Plateau, Labrador Plateau region, you find iron ore also in this region. Iron ore in this region. Especially surrounding the Lake Superior region, you have iron ore in this region. So what I told you, Lake Superior ke paas there is an iron ore. Coal in the Appalachian, iron ore in the Canadian Shield region, surrounding the Lake Superior. No doubt most iron and steel industries are located here, and Pittsburgh, which is a city located in this region, that is the Pittsburgh, I am writing it here, Pittsburgh is the iron and steel capital of the world. It is known as iron and steel capital of the world. Pittsburgh is known as an iron and steel capital of the world. Next important cities you should remember in this region are, after the Pittsburgh, if I give you some of the important cities, you take down some of the important cities which are located here, is the Cleveland region. The Cleveland is the Cleveland. Again, remember, Cleveland is also famous for iron and steel industry. Cleveland is also famous for iron and steel industry. IS stands for iron and steel industry. Cleveland is famous for iron and steel industry. Gary, we have done, it is located on the Lake Michigan region. Gary, iron and steel industry. Gary is famous for iron and steel industry. In Montana state of USA, in the Montana state of USA, that is the central part of USA. You can see below the Canadian border in this part, there is a state known as an Montana part on the eastern side of USA. You have Butte. In which state? In the Montana region of USA. What we have here? We have the world's richest copper mining region. Montana is famous for copper. Copper ore, it is the world's richest copper ore is found in the Montana state of USA. World's richest copper ore is found in this region. Detroit, we have already done. I am again repeating that it is famous for cars. Which is the Detroit of India? Chennai is the Detroit of India. Chennai is the Detroit of India. While there is one more important city which is located here is Akron. The Akron. Remember, Akron is famous for rubber industry or tire industry. Akron is famous for It is the world's largest synthetic rubber and tire making industries, Akron. Don't remember too many cities. Again, we'll repeat: Pittsburgh, iron and steel; Gary, iron and steel; Cleveland, iron and steel; Montana, copper; Chicago, food processing industry; Akron, rubber industry; Detroit, automobile industry; and Milwaukee is famous for dairy industry. Dairy industry in this. Now come to this region. If I ask you, what is this part of USA? This part of USA, through this part, there is an important river which flows through this is the Great Lakes region. There is an important river which flows here and drains in this part. You can see this part is known as the Gulf of St. Lawrence. It is known as a Gulf of St. Lawrence. You can see here it is an Gulf of the St. Lawrence region. This part is the Gulf of the St. Lawrence region. Now in this Gulf of the St. Lawrence, why it is known as Gulf of St. Lawrence? Because river St. Lawrence, this river, the St. Lawrence River, is an important river of the Great Lakes region. It is an important river of Great Lakes region. It is an important river of the Great Lakes region. Which river? St. Lawrence is an important river of the Great Lakes region. And where does it drain into? It drains into the Gulf of St. Lawrence. Now, where does this St. Lawrence River originate? It originates on the Lake Ontario. It originates in the sources like in the Lake Ontario, but you don't have to remember. The most important river of this region is the St. Lawrence. Now, no doubt I told you that this is the industrially most advanced part of America, and if advanced part of America, matlab it is the industrially one of the most advanced part of the world, and therefore there is a lake. Pani is easily water is easily available through HEPs. So hydroelectric power is easily available. Coal is available in the Appalachian Mountains, around the Lake Superior and the Canadian Shield and the Labrador Plateau region. We get iron ore, and therefore the basic industry, that is the iron and steel industry, is located here. Once the iron and steel industry is located, all the major industries will come and settle in this region. Plus, therefore, this region is industrially most important. And what you require after industry? We require good transport, good communication. And which is the cheapest way of transport? It is the waterway is the cheapest way of transport. And we have here the Gulf of St. Lawrence. I told you these are very advanced part of the world. So how the ship which originates from the Superior goes into the Atlantic Ocean. Now after going into the Atlantic Ocean, you see here where it will go. It will go into the European region. It will go into the European region, which itself is the most advanced region. England, which itself is the most advanced region, and from there into through the Suez Canal into the Asia. So remember, the most tech industries are located here. From here they take the St. Lawrence River, go to the Gulf of St. Lawrence, then into USA through the Rotterdam, then through river Rhine, Rift Valley, Mediterranean Sea, then through the Suez Canal and to Asia and to the other parts of the world. Therefore, St. Lawrence River, which is an important river of the Great Lakes region, St. Lawrence River is the most busiest inland waterway, most busiest inland waterway of North America. Most busiest inland waterway of North America. Most busiest inland waterway of North America. And which is the most busiest sea route in the world? This North Atlantic region is the most busiest sea route in the world. It connects two most developed region of the world. So the St. Lawrence River, which originates through the St. Lawrence River, which originates through through the Great Lakes region in the Lake Ontario and goes into the St. Lawrence, is the most busiest inland waterway of North America. It's the most busiest inland waterway of North America. And you can see how the major cities of Ottawa, Montreal, our Montreal Protocol of Protection of the Ozone Layer, Ottawa, the capital of Canada, this all are located on the St. Lawrence River. Lastly, here you can see an island which is located in this region. Lastly, here you can see an island which is located in this region. The name of this island is Newfoundland. And open your atlas and you see the capital of Newfoundland, which is an island ka capital, is St. John's, is the capital. And why is this Newfoundland? Remember your oceanography classes. You can see from the map, this area is having wide continental shelf. This area is having a wide continental shelf. An area, a part of an ocean which has wide continental shelf, itself it is a good fishing zone. But the best fishing zones of the world are located where the continental shelf is wide, but also the fish requires some kind of a nutrients, and these nutrients are brought by the ocean current. In the Newfoundland regions, have you noted down that St. Lawrence is the most busiest inland waterway of North America? I'll rub this. In this region, there is a convergence of a warm Gulf Stream which comes from this. It is an ocean current of warm Gulf Stream, an ocean current, and the cold Labrador current, These two currents meet, and therefore the Newfoundland region, this region is the world's richest fishing ground. Known as Grand Banks region. So where are the world's richest fishing ground located? In the areas where the cold and the warm currents meet. These are the areas where the world's richest fishing ground is located, and the Grand Banks region is the world's richest fishing ground. Similarly, this Gulf Stream will go and then it will go and strike the European part. That is this part of Europe. This is Europe, you understand now? Britain, etc. We have done already, this is Africa, the Strait of Gibraltar. We have already done that this goes as a North Atlantic drift in the European part, and therefore even this region is the Dogger Bank in the Europe around the North Sea region. Is the second most important fishing zone of the world. But the richest zone is the Newfoundland region in North America, near North America. Remember why I have drawn here, so that you do get an idea. The two commonly asked question is, where is the Dogger Bank located? Europe. Where is the Newfoundland located, or the Grand Banks located? North America. Grand Banks is located in North America. And the last island can you find here is the island of Nova Scotia. You will find here there is a small island of Nova Scotia. You will find down there is a small island of Nova Scotia. This island here is this is Newfoundland, and this island is Nova Scotia. Remember, Nova Scotia is famous for apples. Nova Scotia is famous for apples. Newfoundland is famous for fishing. And one last part, that is a small area. Can you find here a small area which is known as the Bay of Fundy? This Bay of Fundy, you remember, has the highest tidal range in the world. Has the highest tidal range in the world. Has the highest tidal range in the world. Now, what do you mean by the tidal range? Tidal range means difference between high tide level water and the low tide level water. Jitna zyada tidal range, we can use that tidal range to manufacture the tidal energy. The Bay of Fundy in the North America region has the highest tidal range in the world. These are the important parts of the North America. These are the important parts of the North America. Again, I am saying, don't go too much into detail for 2-3 questions. In fact, focus. See, the geography is an extremely vast subject, and covering each and every part of geography will make the recordings very long, and it will make the process very cumbersome for you. So what you do, we have done the basics, and I am leaving it on you that to do the conceptual, factual part for agriculture, for minerals, etc. from standard 12th people and economy NCERT. And the third thing, whatever current affairs you are revising, if any place frequently comes in the current affair, you have an atlas. Open that atlas and see the importance of the place, which country it is located, which part of the world it is located, and what are the areas that surrounding the place. This is the way to prepare world geography. Okay, so till the time we meet again, thank you very much.